Today we are unboxing and showing the very first use of our brand new Meet Your Maker meat grinder. All right, I'm gonna get this cut open. While I'm getting into it, I'm gonna kind of tell the story of where this came from. We met some really great people about a year ago at a YouTube creators conference. Greg and Deborah, they own and run a company called Outdoor Solutions, and Outdoor Solutions does a lot of different things. They have guided hunting and fishing trips, big, far, exotic, fancy stuff. They have long-range shooting school for people that are interested in hunting. This is not gonna, I'm gonna set this down on the floor. And they also have an event called From Field to Table, where it's not just the hunting, it's the processing and cooking of all things either hunted or grown on the homestead, or just understanding how to process, get the different cuts of meat and some different dishes, and just a really fascinating thing. And they're wonderful people. There we go. Our box had a box. And so we got to visit with them and kind of get to know what they did. And honestly, I don't know if I will ever be able to afford to go on one of the big adventures that they do. Maybe one day, I would love to, it's really great. But then the next time we ran into them at the Okie Homestead Expo, you may have seen us talk about that already. They are unleashing a new product, I guess, for people like us who said we'll probably never get to go on one of the big field to table events. And the project is all of their learning content coming to a web page. It's a membership. There's an app that you can sign in and get access to all that information for a yearly subscription. We were excited. We wanted to support them. We wanted the learning that they're putting on that, and so we signed up while we were at the Okie Homestead Expo. And some other people signed up as well. They're growing their membership. Looks like the little smoosher, is that the official term that the meat is going to end up going through? And so what they did to generate some excitement about their new product, that's Smoosher 2. Here's Smoosher 1. It has larger holes. Smoosher 1 and Smoosher 2. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna lay it on the side. That's better. They had a drawing.
So the winner, number 6, is Lance Huntsman. Congratulations.
Is Lance in here?
Yeah.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Congratulations, buddy.
Wow.
Thanks. Sweet.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Number 6.
So there's your new lucky number.
And they gave away this incredible meat grinder that we're unboxing right now. This is from Made with Meat. They partner with them. They go to their website. There's all sorts of meat processing.
Meet Your Maker.
Okay. The website is Meet Your Maker. The handle on social media is @MadeWithMeat, and so we're both right, but mine is not going to get you to the website. But a Google search will get you there. Processing equipment like this, knives, aprons. There's a big, I forget how, 25 pound, a big tray that I'm going to get to add to this to catch the meat that comes through. It's made the right size, the right height. They're on sale right now, actually, 4th of July, I noticed. a big sale going out. Anyway, lots of stuff there. They're not a sponsor of us. We're just grateful for these wonderful people. We're excited that we won this in the drawing by being a part of their community. And so I'm just giving them the shout outs that they deserve because they really are great folks. Here, I know I'm not explaining any of this that's coming out of the box. It's because I don't know what any of it is yet.
That's the tubby thing.
Smooshy things and tubby things, and looks like a pokey thing.
That's the sausage food.
Yeah. This is so heavy. This is not a, I went down to Kmart and I got the Hamilton Beach meat grinder. This is a one-horse.
This came to the door while he was at work, and the UPS man dropped it off, or the FedEx man. And I look out and I see a box, and I was like, oh, I'll bring that in so our dog doesn't get it. And I quickly realized, oh, I'm not going to bring that in. He can get that when he gets home.
This is about a 70-pound package. Okay. This is heavy duty stuff right here. There's little packing peanut things all over it. I want to make sure we get it cleaned good before. I don't want packing peanuts in my sausage. All right. So this is the base, the main unit. If you flip it around here, it's got their logo, got the power switch here, forward, reverse. There's a breaker fuse built into it. If you have some electrical protection there. All right, probably that owner's manual will be a good place to start. Let me grab.
Disassemble grinder head and wash each part thoroughly with warm soapy water. Remove all packing grease and oil from the surfaces. Dry all parts before reassembling.
Yeah, we also don't want gear oil in our sausage either, probably. So give us a second. Look, here's a little drawer to store the bits and bops in.
Store the squishy things.
Yep. So give us a second to just clean all this off, and then we'll start assembling it and show you how that goes. Okay, got everything cleaned up. Christy is working on cutting down the meat. I didn't go out and shoot something this morning just to be able to try the grinder, but there was a sale for 4th of July. We picked up a couple of Boston butt or pork shoulder, and one of them we're going to do today and make some breakfast sausage. The other one we're saving. Christy and her Cajun roots are going to do some boudin. And so if you haven't subscribed, be sure and subscribe and watch for more of these videos, and especially that boudin to come out when we get a chance for that. But I got the pieces all cleaned up, and I just wanted to show you before I put everything back together. Everything does come apart. This is going to be so easy to clean. Nice big spaces. The auger comes all the way out, so you can clean it. The blade comes off. The different size of whatever these are called for the grind to come through. There's a fine and there's a large. Everything comes apart. When it goes back together, the end cap screws on and holds it in place. So I just want to show real fast kind of putting this thing back together. The hopper or the feeder is pointed up because the big meat tray is going to sit on top like that. So we'll do that last. Once this goes in, there's a little notch, there's a groove, so it fits one way, one place. On the back side here, there's a screw or bolt, I guess, to put in to hold this so that it can't come out on you. So let me just do that real fast. The auger, this end has the gear or the teeth that fit into the motor. and you can see down the feeding tube. You can get it lined up and you can seat it right in there. Once that is on, the blade goes on. And then whichever size of grind that you're doing, we're going to grind all the way down to the small. We're going to run it through with the large first and then just swap that out. So that's going to go on next. And then depending on what you're doing, so we could just take this and screw it on right away, or if we're using the casings like for the boudin, there's 3 different sizes of these, I don't know, feeder tubes. They snap into this little funnel ring. It's going to go right inside like that, and then you would screw it on, and so your casings will slide over, and this will just push everything straight into your casings. Now again, we're not doing that today, but I wanted to show that real fast. That's also why they have this little drawer to keep your unused parts in. So let me get this screwed on. Everything is locked down. Okay, the meat is going to go in through the top. There is a hand guard, a protector here. This is removable also. If something's wrong, if it needs to be cleaned, there's screws on each side. It's not a hand screw. The idea is to leave this on, of course. And the plunger comes so that you can use that to help poke the meat down in there. You want to keep your hands away. Honestly, it would be really hard for me to even get my hand down where the auger is, but Christy could do it, and the kids definitely could do it. So that's what the safety features are for. So that sits in, and then as you're putting the meat in the tray, you slide it forward and press it down like so. What she's doing is she's cubing this meat into inch-ish, as long as they will fit down that hole. And so we've got a whole bowl full of cubes that are almost ready to go. So I'm going to get this plugged in, and as soon as I guess we don't have to wait, we can start running it through, huh?
Sir, place the marinated cheddar cheese cubes in the bowl.
Alexa's telling me how to do something with
Marinated
cheddar
cheese. Click the like button below if you hate technology, listening to everything that you do, and especially recommending all of the wrong things. So I will also mention Meet Your Maker has an add-on for these. It's a foot pedal to engage the motor rather than just turning it on and leaving it on. So by the time we get all this cut and we just run it straight through, we'll turn it on, we'll run it through, and we'll be done. This will be a fairly small project. If you are processing your own wild game and you have a whole lot more than just this one Boston butt that we're doing, it might really speed things up for you to have that on-off action just from stepping on the pedal to engage and then it not being running the entire time. So you can check their website out for that. Also, be sure and check out From Field to Table that Greg and Deborah are doing. The membership that they offer is a community. It's not just accessing more YouTube videos. There's feedback. The Chef Albert that we met at the Okie Homestead Expo and they've got other chefs too, but he's the one that we met. They've got a big network of people, is on there visiting back and forth with me already on some things. And sometimes that feedback, that conversation really transforms just watching a video and understanding what's going on. And so it's really great. Go ahead and check that out as well. We just really appreciate them. We want them to be successful. So we're tossing that in front of you for consideration.
Y'all are gonna think we're like Chef Albert fanboys, but he's really wonderful. We kind of are.
All right, so everything is assembled. We're starting with the larger plate. We'll run it through. We'll see. I've never done this before. It probably doesn't need to run everything through twice, but it doesn't hurt to run everything through. Like if you just keep going, you just keep mushing it up. But we'll kind of check and see the consistency as it comes out. After we run through with the big plate, though, we will do it again with the smaller plate and just really get a good fine grind. I do want to mention, I think I said it before, the power switch back here that you can't see. Let me turn this around. This is so heavy. It has a forward on. It also has a reverse, which is just momentary on. And that reverse is there if I'm not expecting to have a problem with, especially with a store-bought cut like this, but if you're processing your own and you don't get the tendons and things out really well, then they can get jammed up in these plates. And so that reverse is so that you can turn the auger the other direction, back it away. You just hit it for a few seconds, it'll kind of pull everything back, and then you can try again. If it doesn't go through after a couple of times, unplug it, disassemble it, and pull those pieces out, right? But I don't think we're gonna have anything like that today. So let's just get started. This was a 7 pound,
7.7, I think.
7.5 pound Boston butt. So I'm just gonna see how much of this fits in this hopper before we even start pushing anything through. Woo! It's fitting, but I nearly dropped the bowl. Okay, so a little more than half of that went in here all at once. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's see what happens. Drum roll. Got to go the right direction. Okay, so I'm just letting them fall down. Okay, I didn't have to use that at all. It pushed everything. Here, let's yeah, it's done. I want to bring the camera up here and see if we can get a live shot of it going down. It's grabbing and it's pushing them through. I didn't have to use the plunger at all. As long as you just get it over the hole, it drops in, it sends it down. That was beautiful. That didn't take any time at all. So let's readjust the camera so you can see what I can see. Turn it on. Okay, so I'm not even going to run it through a second time on the bigger plate because it's clearly, it did a fantastic job. Like there's no reason. So we are going to switch down to the smaller plate real fast. Now, I realized as this was coming out and we were going to be mushing the ground meat back through, that's really when this is going to come into play. I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't need it, but it makes sense for whole chunks to just fall down in there. It's not going to make as much sense for a bowl of Play-Doh to act that way. So we're going to I don't have any nails. There. just pull this off. Make sure we wash that good. Okay, now the smaller plate, and there's a little notch that lines up so it fits one way and locks it into place so the auger can't just turn this. That braces it on there. Okay, get that locked back on good, and swap bowls. Let's see. Did I just dump a bunch down the front, or is it all in there?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And here it comes.
All right, yeah, this is where we start helping it out a little bit. Also, this is made, it can't go far enough in there to interfere with the auger, so I wouldn't just go grab a wooden spoon to do this. Make sure you hang on to the official smoosher. It's Play-Doh Fun Factory for adults.
This is going to be great for hunting season.
It's going to make us lazy is what it's going to do, because instead of learning how to do all the big cuts, we're just going to start throwing the whole deer right into the grind. Most of what we eat is ground venison anyway, but actually that's part of why I was so excited to sign up for the From Field to Table. It's to learn how to do some of those other cuts better, but yeah, this is going to be great. So let's look and see if there's a bunch still in here and I should have left it going. We'll be able to see that, but I don't think. You have to turn it 483 times. I don't know if this is the official way to do it, but tipping this forward seems to help me get these plates off.
There's not a ton, there's a little bit.
So the blade and then the auger. Okay, yeah, and it's just a big chunk of fat. It just kind of, but that's hardly anything. That's not worth leaving it running. I could drop it down in there and, all right, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's just see if it makes enough difference to just refeed it. Make sure that's all the way in there like it's supposed to be. Okay. That plate doesn't like going in there when it's all smashed with gooey meat. All right, let's just see if this last little bit. I always turn it the wrong way first.
Yeah, there it goes. A little bit. much in there. You're not going to get a whole.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't, there's nothing behind it to keep pushing it through. Okay, well, that's part of learning. I think there probably is just always going to be a little bit that doesn't quite make it. There's a few little pieces that just kind of let go.
All right, while you're cleaning, do you want me to just mix the sausage stuff?
Yay, I get the fun job. I get to clean. Yep, let me get this unplugged and I'll scoot it over out of the way and get the parts that I need to clean.
All right, now for the fun part, we get to make sausage with this. I'm gonna just try some basic breakfast sausage. We're not gonna put it in casing or anything. This is kind of one of our go-tos meals in the morning, sausage and eggs. And yeah, let's see how this turns out. So I am pulling this from the sausage making cookbook. I will put a link to this book if you're interested in it. It's got a zillion and 42 different recipes for how to make sausage. This is a very exact number, a zillion 42. So we're gonna start out with 5 pounds of our ground pork, which I'm estimating this is probably about 5 pounds of pork because we had a big bone in that and it was about 7 pounds. So I'm just guesstimating that that's about right. And then we're gonna put 5 teaspoons of salt. I like to use the Redmond salt. It's got more minerals in it and it just tastes better. 2 teaspoons of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of marjoram. 2 teaspoons of basil. This is actually our fresh basil we preserved from the garden last year. I'll put a video link to that below if you're curious how we did that. And it still smells amazing. One teaspoon of thyme. And then we've got 4 cloves of garlic pressed. I already have these peeled, so I'm gonna go ahead and press them and get them in here. And very last, 1 cup of cold water. And that's really all there is to it. We're gonna mix it all together to where it's nice and combined. All right, we're nice and combined. Now, we are gonna fry some up and try it out.
All right, and here's our official taste test to see how batch number 1 went. Dibs on the big one.
Okay, go for it.
I take the tiny one.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'm a fan. You like
I think
it?
you're a human.
But
All right, do you want to outro us?
no, thanks for watching our video today. Come and join us next time on Fun the Roots Up. Thank you so much for joining us yet again on From the Roots Up. We're building our homestead from the roots up. Links to everything that we used or did in the description below. Support us, support our friends. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and the bell to find out when new content is coming out, like the boudin that we're going to be working on.